The hatred against white British people in this country continues from the establishment, as we now have the West Yorkshire police banning white people from their so-called police service. Of course, you can't say police force anymore. You have to say police service because that's politically incorrect. I'm sure criminals will be happy to hear that the police doesn't really have any force anymore. It's just a service. Anyway, let's talk about this nonsensical story. We got the West Yorkshire police that decided to prevent white British candidates from applying for jobs inside the police station and obviously for the service in general. And this is obviously part of the entry program that they have. Now, they are saying that the underrepresented groups can be fast-tracked into the job, even if they don't have the merit, even if they don't really qualify for it. As long as they can tick one of the identity boxes, then they can sort this out. So this is getting really weird now because they are quite open and proud about it. In a report to senior officers in West Yorkshire, this was seen by The Telegraph initially, they said this feeds into a general theme where the pipeline for anyone white British is strangled, while anyone non-white British is ushered through onto the next available stage. So they seem to be quite open about the anti-white racism, which continues to be denied by the political establishment and the mainstream media, even though we have 100% evidence now that this is clearly the case. But seems like this country continues to go down instead of actually recovering from this woke nonsense. It gets worse. So these are all pictures from the West Yorkshire, by the way, West Yorkshire Police. According to their own website, we are currently accepting applications for the two police constable entry program, uniform and detective, from people from our underrepresented groups. If you are not from one of these groups, please keep checking this page for future recruitment opportunities. I don't want my police force or service to be representative of the people even in the area. I know that a lot of people say, oh no, you have to. If the demographic has changed, then you must. First things first, West Yorkshire, you still have many areas in the rural areas, suburban areas that is still white. So this isn't really representative anyway, but I just need the people who work for the police to do their job. And I don't want them to look like me. That's just a weird thing to say. I don't really care about your skin color. I just want to make sure you do a good job, which they don't, by the way. I'm going to get to a perfect example when it comes to West Yorkshire. But they've added that the West Yorkshire Police's insistence that positive action was not used in the interview process was false, claiming to have personally witnessed members of the positive action group greeting candidates, wait for this, with unprofessional hand clasps and hugs. They are hugging the Browns. Oh, anybody who's non-white, they go to the interview instead of shaking their hands. No. They hug them. Welcome. We are going to hug you. This is so welcoming. It's disgusting. I also heard them tell candidates on a number of occasions that there was the effect of, don't worry, you have already passed, and this is just a formality. Now, it gets worse because these are the same people, by the way, who kicked off a few months ago because of an autistic teenage girl. Do you remember this story? The woman on the right, I don't want to assume her gender because apparently you could get into trouble. She's a police officer as part of the West Yorkshire Police. There was a teenage girl who happened to be autistic, walking with her mother. She, naively, innocently pointed out that, oh, look at that police officer. She looks like my lesbian grandmother. She's a lesbian nana. Her grandmother happens to be a lesbian, and she said, oh, that police officer looks like my lesbian grandmother. This person got offended. I mean, don't have that haircut if you don't want to. What happened next was disgusting. It wasn't just that this police officer was like, okay, I'm very offended. This is not appropriate. I'm going to knock on the door and have a conversation with the mother. No. They sent in 20 to 30 police officers raiding the house. They stormed in. They dragged the teenage autistic girl out on the pavement outside the house, dragged her out, arrested her in front of her mother and the family. This is what they're doing. So there is a police force, there is definitely force when it comes to certain people, and that is basically the British white natives in this kingdom. Because that girl happened to be white. If that girl happened to be Islamic, of course, would have been a whole different situation. But there's also this issue with spending money on DEI. Diversity and inequality, all this nonsense, inclusion. This is what they're spending on. Between 2021 and 2024, West Yorkshire has spent over £1,400,000. That's a lot of money. It's actually more than all the others. Merseyside Police, just over 1 million. Devon and Cornwall, similar figures. Northumbria, 933,000. Thames Valley, 923,000. I mean, firstly, that's still a huge number. But West Yorkshire seems to be spending a lot of money on this sort of nonsense already. Do they really need to ban more white people? Is that really the priority? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.